What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Atlantic Files, the number one podcast on the number one division in the NBA, brought to you by the Underdog Sports Podcast Network. As always, joined by your hosts, myself, Alex Fishbein, and I got Dennis Big Sexy Clausen with Mike Bash on the way.
I gotta start doing so. You know how you do the arms?
Uh-huh.
You go, hey, and then you come to me, and then I look just fucking miserable. So I want people. The one thing I've been trying to work on lately. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that is your signature.
Is to be miserable.
To look like you're miserable.
Yeah. So I've been doing some self-reflecting.
Okay.
So I'm genuinely a happy person. Like I got a good life, great things going on, you know, stuff like that. But sometimes I don't outwardly express my my enthusiasm or my, you know, like just I sometimes I got like an RBF and I don't even mean for it to happen.
Oh, I understand that. I have RBF. Like when I'm at work, I have RBF all the time.
Well, you're at work, so
true.
I mean, that's not a place where you. I'm not talking about like any place that you're supposed to be miserable. Historically, work's one of those places where you're supposed to be miserable. I'm talking like a place you're supposed to be happy, and I just, you know, so I want to outwardly try to express that I am happy. That was a self-reflection moment for me.
I got you.
Because people are like, "Oh, you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fucking fine." Like I'm probably way happier than 99% of the people on the planet. You just don't know because I really don't talk about like I should be talking about more stuff that. Well, I mean, I do talk about stuff that makes me happy, but I do a lot of bitching about stupid shit.
The thing is, sometimes you need to just get a good bitch session in.
I know, but everything just you got to pick your battles. I feel like, but It's so easy to just get roped in and just bitching about everything.
That is true. I definitely agree with that. If Deanna lets me go, I'll bitch about the dumbest of things for hours, things that shouldn't even need to be talked about, but bitch about it anyway.
But you're a newly married man. What do you have? You get no problems.
Well, nothing about her or the marriage.
You should have had problems
outside stupid shit.
Because I mean, you're a good-looking dude, but you definitely went way above your level of.
Oh
yeah. You definitely are way above. You know what a guy who looks like you should be pulling in.
Oh yeah, I'm like a featherweight punching at heavyweight.
Correct, but you won the heavyweight title.
Right, exactly. Somehow, some way.
You know what? You're a nice guy.
True.
So that gets you places.
That's a good point. I crack some jokes here and there, make her laugh, you know.
Eat ass and whatever you're doing, you know.
Yeah.
Gotta keep. All right.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, welcome.
Mike is somewhat here. I can only see his like a black screen. Maybe the ghosts got him again.
Good. Don't move. Oh shit.
Oh, there he is.
And if you want to talk about if you want to talk about like the excitement level is now deflated out of the room. I was going to say, Alex, don't move. He hunts. Maybe if we don't move, he won't notice us.
No, I'm in a new room. This new apartment.
I know.
We got to get some stuff in here.
I was about to say you're in a well lit area, somewhat well lit area. Your face is a little dark, but that
still don't work.
That's okay.
It's good. It's dark, so we can't see.
If I take my glasses off, then you can see me. But then I can't see you guys because I'm going blind. So it's all good.
You're going a lot of things.
What are your guys' subscriptions? Like, what's your magnification?
OnlyFans. Oh, prescriptions. Prescriptions.
Yes,
You're
that's
not
what
subscriptions.
you know what I meant.
I was going to say we got Peacock, OnlyFans.
I'm thinking of YouTube and people
Browsers.
subscribing to the show.
Yeah, Brazers, Bang Bus. Black couch.
Anyway.
What's the one where they sit on the black couch?
Oh, Dennis is a fiend for advertising on Instagram. He got the Cricket water bottle. I could see.
I didn't even know what that was. What's a cricket?
It's not a cricket. It's a
Circuit.
It's a circle. So yeah, I fell into the TikTok. Well, I didn't fall into it. I was watching TikTok with my daughter, and she said, "Daddy, check this out." So it was that. So I ended up getting the circle, but then she showed me a TikTok hack to where you could put the circle on your Hydro Flask bottle and get more water.
So what is the circle?
It's flavors.
Ah.
So right now I'm enjoying some peach tea, iced tea.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Dennis,
That's right.
you're gonna have to send me that.
that's fancy.
But you don't have that?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, see how nice you are to me.
So I'm ready to make my return after my biggest prediction finally came true.
Can you just fucking let him do it so that
Yep.
we can move on with our lives?
Go ahead.
Denver
Because you know
Nuggets
it in 10 minutes he's
Denver
going to run out of
Nuggets
energy
are
anyway.
world champions. Alex, what did I tell you? Hold on.
How you like guys?
Hold on. I have the clip.
Oh God. Did you have this queued up?
He didn't have time to comb his fucking hair, but he had time to pull this
You're
in.
going to the Nuggets. The Nuggets will, in my eyes, will be the next Western power. Maybe 3 years from now, maybe 4 years from now, they will be the next Western power. You got Porter, you got Jokic, who one of the best big men in the league. You got Jamal Murray, who is a scoring point guard, but he can run some point. And you got Gary Harris, and then you got Millsap and other pieces around. Millsap will probably be gone by the time they get really good. But those first four I named, that's a pretty strong core. If they can keep them all around, and keep them all healthy, that I think the sky's the limit for the Denver Nuggets.
All I'm saying, you take out Gary Harris, you insert Contavious Caldwell-Pope. That is as accurate as a prediction as you've ever heard in your life.
I mean, I will give it to you. You did get this one
Don't fucking
correct.
do that.
Let's
Don't.
get it. I
I'm
also told
ju-
you the Sixers would never win. Just saying.
I'm just like, he did say that the Nuggets were going to win. But I will also say, I went back to every prediction episode we had, and you only got one team right in the finals this year.
The Denver Nuggets.
And you got every single other finals team wrong every other year.
That's fine.
I think the one year you said Nuggets versus Nets.
I probably said that every year.
No, I think it was only the year that you first got Durant and Kyrie.
Oh, okay.
The year after that, I think you said like Nets versus Suns or something like that. But anyway,
He doesn't know how to use a razor, but he knows how to pull up a clip of a prediction he made 7 years ago.
What's wrong with my beard? What is going
That
on?
ain't a beard, pal.
I just shaved.
You don't have enough
I got more hair on
testosterone.
my face than Alex has on the top of his head.
no, I still have more on the top of my head.
Wait, hold on. Dennis, how many fingers am I holding up?
How many fingers am I holding up? All right, let's go.
So yeah, Nuggets win the championship, 5 games. My prediction was that they would sweep the Heat, but obviously I was 1 game off of that.
Gentleman's sweep.
True. I think, Dennis, you said 5. You either said sweep or 5. I forget what you said.
I think I said 4-1, actually.
Oh, okay.
No, I
Well, there
think
you
I
go.
said sweep, but then I felt bad, so I gave the Heat 1 game.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that was mostly the consensus. You and I both agreed that the Heat were not a good team. They were just hitting a very lucky run.
Well, we said it before. All right, the Heat, and I said it before, like weeks ago. We've been talking about it every week. I said the Heat aren't good. They aren't any good. I'm not convinced that they were good. I just think that all the teams that they played were underperforming. The media or hurt. The media loved the Heat though this postseason. They absolutely were rock hard. They had lotion and toilet paper and tube socks, and anything they could get their hands on when it came to the Heat, because they were so aroused talking about the Heat that anytime the Heat did something, they were just so on board. And when the Heat, they took a game from the Nuggets, and then all of a sudden the Heat were, the media again got fucking rock hard, and they were talking about, oh, the Heat, they're not going down without a fight, and look what happened. They went down 4-1.
Yep.
Because the Heat one game, they figured out, oh, let's turn Jokic instead of a passer, let's turn him into a scorer. Well, okay, that worked one game, and we saw how well that worked out for the rest of the postseason. The Heat are the biggest fraud going. Jimmy Butler is not a championship caliber guy. He can lead teams to the finals, but he's not capable of bringing a team to a championship by himself. He'll never be. He's always a disruption every single place he's gone. Chicago, he was a pain in the ass. Minnesota, he was a pain in the ass. Philadelphia, he's a pain in the ass. Miami, he's been okay, but he still had some issues with Spoelstra in Miami.
They almost got in a fist fight.
Haslam almost killed him on the sideline. So Jimmy Butler is the biggest pain in the ass, and I'm glad that the Heat are finally. I'm glad the postseason's over, because we knew the Nuggets were going to just make short work out of them, or at least the ones who were intelligent did. So yeah, now it's over with. Jokic can go home, because I feel like he was being held hostage. He didn't want to go to this parade.
That was the funniest thing I've ever witnessed in my life.
He was like, when's the parade?
He's like,
I gotta go home.
So now Jokic could finally go home and get out of the country for a little bit, and give the guy some rest, and prayers and everything to the cop who got run over and might lose a leg in a meaningless championship parade, and people got shot, and I'm in favor of just banning championship parades altogether, because people don't deserve championship parades at this point. People are too stupid. Remember, like when you're in an elementary school and you did something stupid and they took recess away? That's what we need to do for championship parades, because people are too moron they can't act civilly, and so just get rid of them.
I didn't even read that about the parade. I didn't know that. Damn.
I saw it on the news, and for some reason I watched the news, even though it's just bad news. They start the news off every week with a tornado, or every night there's a tornado and an earthquake somewhere. Then they talk about Trump for about 10 minutes, and then they go into the fire has been a big thing lately. Then somebody might have cancer, a celebrity died, and then they talk about the police guy getting run over by the fire truck at the Denver Nuggets championship parade, and a couple people got shot. So that's the news. And you wonder why I'm in a bad mood all the time.
Yeah, I mean, Philly news is literally just people getting shot all the time.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't watch the news. But I will say I have to give tremendous props to Aaron Gordon for this whole postseason. Aaron Gordon was probably the next most important player outside of the obvious two, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Ish Smith and Reggie Jackson.
And Christian Braun.
Right.
But yeah, no, Aaron Gordon was tasked with covering the other team's best player every round, and he made it hard for every one of those guys to score. Did he completely shut them down? Not all the time, but as a defender like that, you don't need to completely shut somebody down in the playoffs. You just need to make it extremely hard for them to score. Just like we saw with Andre Iguodala and LeBron James in that finals when he won Finals MVP. If you just make it a living hell for that opposing player to score, that you're doing your job correctly. And that's exactly what Aaron Gordon did, while providing very good third to fourth option offense. And I think he was easily one of the most important pieces on this team.
And he's got cool hair.
True. And I used to give Aaron Gordon a lot of shit when he was on Orlando because he's obviously not a number one guy.
Well,
Orlando,
I mean, come on, he's Orlando. You can't hold that against him.
But that's what I mean. Like, Orlando should never have tried to make him a number one guy. Just like when Andre Iguodala tried to be a number one guy in Philly, they're just not cut out to be number one guys.
And that's okay.
Exactly. People get mad because they're not producing as a number one because they got like a decent paycheck. But it's like, maybe you should have not put him as a number one.
It's like,
Oh,
it's
kind of weird. I use that.
Joel Embiid can't be a number one.
There we go.
What'd you say?
I said Joel Embiid can't be a number one.
Well, I was going to say I use that same argument for Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons can't be a number 3. He's like number 6.
Well, I'm talking at the time when he was number one. I said they paid him a ton of money, and he's not an offensive guy, and I got shit for it. And now all of a sudden you're using that same argument. So which is it, fellas?
I mean, I never considered Ben Simmons a number one, but he was supposed to be a number 2.
Right, but that's okay. He's not.
Yeah.
But the minute I said that, all of a sudden you're sticking up for Aaron Gordon. The minute I said that about Ben Simmons, just because it's Ben Simmons, I'm a moron, but you could say the same thing about Aaron. But okay. All right, let's not.
There's a difference there. There's a difference.
It's not a difference. It's not a difference.
I know the argument you're trying
Keep
to
your
make,
voice
but there's
down.
definitely a difference.
Keep your
there.
voice down.
Come on, honey.
But Mike, we haven't heard your analysis. We haven't heard your what do you think? Like what's in your head here?
On what?
On everything that happened.
Fucking climate change. What do you think he's talking about?
Well, I mean, I think that, the Nuggets won this year because every time a new team comes, right? The NBA and the league reacts, and they're going to want to reinvent the wheel, right? They're going to, the Warriors won, now everyone wants shooters, and the Heat won, and now everyone wants positionless basketball. Now the big men are going to make a comeback, not in terms of like back to the basket big men, but now you're going to see teams going after Cat and going after Bam and going after, obviously have Jokic. Any of these big men that can dribble the ball with any sort of success and can have a willingness to pass, that's going to be the next thing. Like Victor Wembanyama is going to be a point forward. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just going to be, can we utilize our big man to initiate our offense and free up the guards around him and free up the forwards around them instead of making the guard, running the pick and roll game all day. Even though that's what the Nuggets do a lot of the time, but they ran through Jokic. It was like an inverted pick and roll. They ran a pick and roll with Jamal Murray being the roll guy.
Kind of like your penis.
That's going to be the new thing in the NBA. They're going to try to, rebuild the next Jokic. And then 5 years from now, they're going to try to build the next Miles Bridges. What? What's so funny?
Let me tell you something. Big guys have always been in style. Big guys are fantastic.
What's so funny?
You didn't hear his joke in there.
But yeah,
what was the joke?
Watch the replay, you'll get it.
No, I missed it.
Yeah, I know. Just like
I'm crying. That was one of Dennis's best ones.
What did he say?
I made a penis joke.
It was just a penis joke. It really wasn't like that elaborate of a joke.
Can you repeat it?
Whew.
It wouldn't be funny the second time, so I'm not going to repeat it. I don't even know if it was funny the first time. Well, apparently it was because Alex laughed about it.
It's around the 16, 17 minute mark when you look at it back.
But anyways, big guys are always going to be in style. There's no big men needing to make a comeback because big guys are fantastic, for one. Number two, all right, Cat's garbage. All right,
let's not disparage Cat right now.
All right, Cat's garbage. For one, he can never stay healthy. Two, he's going around saying about he's going to change the game and when it's all said and done and blah blah blah. He's blowing smoke out his ass. He hasn't done anything to even put himself in the conversation as any of the other elite centers in the league. So, with that said, Bam Adebayo's not even a center. He's what? I think Bam Adebayo's really 6'7". He gets out muscled and gets beat up by bigger centers. He's like a scared he's like a scared dog in a thunderstorm. Whenever it rains and there's lightning out, the dog runs. That's Bam Adebayo in the paint against guys who can actually bully him around and push him around. He ain't no center. I don't even want to hear him in the conversation about being a center because he shouldn't even be a center.
He's a little beefier and better version of John Collins.
He's like a Donald Foyle, but good.
Wow, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
That's right, Colgate.
But I just want to say real quick with your Karl Anthony Towns part, his quotes recently have just been straight up stupid.
Well, look who he's hanging out with. He's hanging out with Pat Beverly, one of the biggest morons going. But when it's all said and done right now, though, and I might get shit for this, but, whatever. I may make the argument right now that I think Nikola Jokic is already a better center than Shaq.
Oh,
That's
wow.
saying a lot. In terms of what? Being a more complete player, being a more dominant player. What do we? How you determining that?
He arguably could have been a 3-time MVP. He won 2 in a row. All right. He's certainly more skilled than Shaq is. Shaq was dominant, right? But Jokic is dominant, like on not a physicality standpoint. Jokic is
say that about 50.
the smart one is talking. So
Cat is more skilled than Shaq, but that doesn't mean he's a better player.
Well, if you shut up and let me finish, I would, be happy to answer the question for you.
Okay.
So when you look at Shaq, all right, Shaq won championships. He had Kobe, who is undoubtedly one of the best players ever. I know Mike doesn't feel that way, but Kobe's one of the best players ever. Jokic basically single-handedly is the reason why the Nuggets are the champ. Like Jamal Murray's really good, but he's nowhere near on that. They're nowhere near that 1-2 punch that like the Lakers were. So to me, I just think Jokic was it was all about him in that throughout the entire postseason and even in the NBA Finals. To me, right now, if he wins another championship, say the Nuggets come back, then it's definitely, to me, I don't even think it's an argument at that point. And right now he's the favorite to be MVP next season. If he plays the way he did in the postseason, in the regular season, then yeah, we got to start talking. Then we definitely need to consider Jokic as being one of the best big men ever.
I mean, he does also have the international factor there in terms of best big men because, he's going to play the FIBA World Cup again this summer. At least they're expecting him to. And he's probably going to be, like, one of the top tournament teams there. But I definitely see where you're going with that. But if he can do what he did for like a couple more seasons, yeah, he has to be up there. He has to be at least in the top. He's already in the top 5 best big man of all time, like already right now.
And I love Shaq, so it's not a knock on Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq to me is more like Giannis, where like Giannis is pure physicality. Giannis is more athleticism than Shaq was. Shaq wasn't like jumping out of the gym or anything. But those two, I think, are more of a comparison in their styles of dominance. But I do agree that since Jokic is so good all around, he can become more dominant because he has more avenues to dominate. So it's surprising to say it, but I do see it happening.
Okay.
I was waiting to see if Mike had anything to add, but I guess not.
Dennis.
There he is.
You good over there?
Yeah, my daughter came home from dance, so I was just saying, hello real quick.
I got you. But yeah, so like I said, the sound of him being more dominant or better than Shaq is still surprising, just because of Shaq's run of dominance and how dominant he truly was.
I mean, Shaq won what, 4 championships?
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm saying though,
3 with
like
Kobe and 1 with the Heat.
Yeah.
But I'm saying though, if you look at like Shaq got a lot of help.
Oh, come
True.
on, Dennis.
I mean,
True.
when you have Kobe Bryant,
And Dwayne Wade.
That's a pretty good assist right there. Like, to have a guy of that caliber. Jokic, like, Murray's great. I love Jamal Murray, but and it's not a knock on him, but I'm just saying he's, Jokic is the single-handedly, there's no debate on, was it Kobe? Did Kobe need Shaq, or did Shaq need Kobe? But there's no debate here for this. That's my only argument.
Dude, Shaq had 5 seasons with more points and rebounds per game than Jokic's best season. The only thing Jokic does better than him is pass.
I mean, that's a pretty significant thing, though.
It is. I'm not denying.
I mean, when we're talking about, too, though, like, it's more than just stats. It's guys who ultimately take their team to a championship.
Yeah, and Shaq has 4 championships and Jokic has 1. I don't understand your point here. Jokic also didn't block shots like Shaq. So the fact that you could say Jokic is more dominant than Shaq is the most ridiculous.
Never said that.
Never
said he's more dominant.
Or better. What did you say, better?
I said
more
you can
skilled?
make the argument that Jokic is a better player.
He's more skilled, I'll give you that, but he's not a better player.
I think he has the chance to if he keeps doing what he's doing for a few more seasons, especially if he adds 1 to 2 more championships at least. I don't think he has to have the same exact amount of championships, but he needs at least 3.
Okay,
to say that he's more dominant.
Okay, but dominant's not the word that I use, though.
No, I know it's not. I know. I'm just saying I'm making that argument for the
typical.
Part.
You guys are typical fake news media.
That Mike's here. The fake news comes in. But I will say I don't like Jokic is never going to be the defensive player that Shaq was.
No, and I never said that.
I know you didn't. I'm just saying it outright. I'm not saying you alluded to that. I'm just saying that's always been the one knock against Jokic is his defense. And this postseason, his defense was actually decent. I give him that for sure. I said that a couple weeks ago. His defense has actually he's stepped up his defense a good bit in this postseason, which obviously showed when you go to win a championship. But overall, throughout his whole body of work, his defense does need some work. So that's the main thing. That's all.
Enough said.
Exactly. All right, so I want to get to this story because I feel like this whole thing is just funny. Zion Williamson.
I'm not responsible for anything that's going to come out of my mouth. I just want you to know this.
Zion Williamson. So everyone knows he has been injured and still hasn't played. But now he is welcoming his first child with his quote-unquote girlfriend.
That he's aware of.
After he announces that he is having a kid, his other girlfriends or side pieces or whatever go off there was one girl who was a porn star. Her name's Mariah Mills.
Actress.
Adult film entertainer.
Whatever you want to call it. She went on a Twitter rant for like 5 days.
Can I just cut you off because I can't? I can't. I just need to talk about this.
Go ahead.
All right, so I did some extensive research on this. Okay.
Oh God.
And I wasn't really even that like intrigued until I started to like get intrigued by it. Like the more I read, like I couldn't like stop. So Zion's baby girl, baby mama, that's what we're going to call it. That's what the kids are saying. She comes out on whatever and posts a picture of her and Zion. You know, hey, we're having a kid, blah, blah, blah. Mariah, I think Mariah Mills is her name.
Yep.
And this is all allegedly, people, because I don't want to get sued. So, but Mariah Mills comes out. That's when the shit starts coming out, right? So there have been texts that have been published since all this stuff went down. And I'm going to read some of these to you. I'm going to read a conversation between Mariah Mills, an alleged conversation between Mariah Mills and Zion Williamson. So it starts out with Ms. Mills stating, I hate this. I'm really upset. Zion, so why you posting all this on social media? ? Delete that stuff. She responds, because you kissed her. That's your girlfriend. You lied to me. Delete everything and we'll talk. But come on, FR. I don't know what FR means.
For real.
For real, okay. You ruined then she said, you ruined my life with crying face emojis. You lie to me all the time. You have a baby. Go be a father. You not my king no more.
I feel like it's a text Dennis receives from his wife.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I got it mixed up. I'm sorry. These aren't none. So Zion responds, so why you doing all this? And then she responds, enjoy your new life with the fake. And then she used an emoji. Cheap fake. She's so fake, she ran to social media to boast that she your baby father, clout chasing whore. Delete that stuff. Delete the stuff and I got you. I don't know what that means, but there's more. Why should I trust you? All you do is lie. I literally was good to you. You let whore trap you. You're going to be a dad. So happy for you. He responds, stop. That's for me to worry about. I'm sorry it happened, but why would you add that fire? FR. If you do that, I got you. You not gone do that. We better than this, FR. ? I thought I was yours. I trusted you. Some pretty spicy stuff.
I just love you reading all of these.
Oh, I absolutely love every. But there's a lot more to this.
Yep.
There is actually there's multiple women have come out since then, like 23. So we're getting.
I didn't know it was that many.
Like I believe allegedly 23. So we're getting into Deshaun Watson territory here.
Oh God.
Except this might be consensual. I have no idea. So there's pictures of girls taking pictures of Zion in bed.
Mm-hmm.
And one girl took a picture of Zion in bed with her. His back was turned. She took a picture of him, and then she said something along the lines of, "You have a baby mom," or some. "You disgust me," and Zion just sitting there. I'm surprised he didn't have a CPAP on, because Lord knows at this point he probably needs it. But
I think there was one tweet from Mariah Mills that said, "You had all those snacks in your house. No wonder you're a fat fuck."
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Now, what did she mean by snacks? Like
Apparently,
Hostess cupcakes or like chicks?
she didn't. Oh, there was food.
Well, I know that, but I didn't know what she was like.
I don't know what type of snacks.
Right,
but
like
I'm
Little
assuming
Debbie's, like Star Crunch, like
probably
Zingers.
Sounds like he's a fan of oatmeal cream pies. If you catch my drift.
I mean, who doesn't love a good oatmeal cream pie every once in a while?
I agree.
Love cream pies.
I don't think Mike's a fan.
Oh,
There's something seriously wrong with Dennis. I knew since the day I met him. And I'm talking about at Alex's wedding, not 3 years ago.
Of course. Anyway, continue, Dennis.
I'm actually looking for one more thing that, because it got really good. But
where's Muhammad? Is he still around?
Well, he knew you were coming back, so he stopped.
No.
He pops in every now and again.
I hope he's okay.
What about the other guy?
Tyler? It's been a while since Tyler's been on.
I was actually thinking about him today. I said, "Where's Tyler been?"
I think Tyler might either finally have himself a boo or a life. One of the two. While you're looking for that though, Dennis, the one another different.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, go ahead.
In other messages, Zion allegedly asked, I believe this was to Mariah Mills. The tweets showed Zion wanted her to retire from her current profession and be with him. In other messages, the New Orleans star asked Mills to get, and this is from sportspedia.com. So Zion said, "Booty fun pack. Hope you have a good day, my king," with water drip emoji, whatever that. She must have been thirsty or something then. Oily ass, but I know your strong hands can grip this fat, big, slippery ass. Zion responds, "Thank you for this, baby." And then she responds, "NP, babe," whatever that means.
No problem.
No problem, babe. When I took these pictures, I was thinking of you, IONOY, wink face with a water squirt. So she might have been having a water gun fight at her house. Really want us to get to that point where you only fuck with me and it's not always transactional. So speaking of that, I guess there may have been stuff going on about Zion sending this chick a shit ton of money. That's what I heard, allegedly.
Sounds like
He apparently was going to move her to New Orleans.
No.
Yeah.
Weird. I'm always gone look out with that, but I want to be more. And she said, "Same here, baby. We've been linking since 2021. I feel like we're more than that now. I just wanted to retire from fans this year. But what are you thinking when you say more? Seeing you more? You staying with me when you come home?" And then she said, "Here's some ass pics for motivation," which apparently it's not working because the guy doesn't fucking play, so...
He can't have motivation if he's not playing.
I mean, if anything... Okay, and then here's another one. She even called her ex-boyfriend... "Thanks so much, mama. Hey, you got any thick white girls that you want to fuck with us?" Oh my god, this is awesome.
What has this podcast turned into?
Yes.
This reminds me of our episode with Doc Rivers.
Oh, Doc's loving every second of this. So Mariah Mills then goes on Instagram or Twitter, the tweet place, and she says, "Remember when you wanted me to have a threesome with white girls? Spice up our sex," she meant to say our sex life even more. "And when I found them, you said, no, I don't want to share you. Fuck you. Snow bunnies for threesomes, black girls to..." I can't even say this one.
Oh, God.
"You said you was so proud I was a boss, a girl that makes her own bread, that has, apparently she owns a bakery, her own Lambo and motion, and that you didn't want me to do a regular porn anymore because our relationship that has, and you let some bum flex your RR truck. That most likely just how you got my Snapchat deleted. I'm tired of this, crying face. I can't do anything. Like, I wish I've never accepted money from you. This is not right. How you treat me like this because he getting my tweets deleted. Apparently Zion's got a lot of pull in the Twitter universe.
Apparently,
him and Elon are besties.
So yeah, I can't get enough of this, as you can tell, and I absolutely love every second of this.
Well, so there's another. So
I honestly have no comment on this. I have no idea.
Another girl named Yamil Taylor. She posted stuff on Instagram, and she was one of the ones that took a picture of Zion with him laying there.
With a CPAP.
Exactly. And she went on to say, and this ain't nothing to do with clout. I get my own money in real life and never been a prosty or sold my body. You outside buying hoes, Culinons, who didn't have 100K to their name when you met them. Why I didn't get my Bentayga and my Richard Mille last summer. Tagged Zion. Because I don't let you record me. I never gave you a threesome or never had a OnlyFans or was on Pornhub, so I guess I was all play. I probably never had a chance, you nasty ass sex addict.
Honey, I hate to break it to you, but nobody has a chance.
No. So then she goes on to say, someone tell my good sis Mariah, if he moves you to NOLA, I'll move in with you. I'm just an aspiring microblading artist. I don't even want him to touch me no more. Laugh my fucking ass off. I can't live with the other bum, though. Baby girl is beneath me. And then posted the picture of him laying in bed and said, and he be laying around sleeping comfortably knowing you have bitches pregnant. Disgusted.
Mariah responded.
Is this whole episode just going to be you guys going through this conversation?
Correct.
This is amazing. I love this.
Better pray I'm not pregnant too, because definitely take at Zion Williamson. Or definitely late. Sorry, eyes are getting little as I'm getting older, you know. Definitely late, which means she's either overslept or something else. I was with you last week in New Orleans, and you couldn't tell me you had a random thought pregnant after all I've done for you? Happy hoes ain't hating. And hating ho. Oh, and this is Akima. Is that the girl you were talking about?
No, that's a fourth one.
I can't keep track. Akima says, happy hoes ain't hating, and the hating hoes ain't happy, she wrote. Another woman, Yami Taylor. Is that
Yami
someone?
Taylor's the one I was talking about.
Okay. And this is the one where she said, I never gave you a three. Okay, so that's the one. I mean, this is absolutely amazing.
Oh, Akima's the baby mama. That's who that is.
I mean, I can't keep track.
But so, also, Mariah Mills went on to say that the trade rumors are fake news just to cover up all the drama that has been happening with all the other women.
No, says, honey, they've been talking about trading his bum ass for Mariah Mills, and I'm going to throw another one at you real quick before we move on, because we actually have to dissect this a little bit instead of just reading tweets, I guess.
True.
Mariah Mills said, I let you, and there's a stop sign over it, in my mouth last week when we found you when we effed. So you could have told me you had another whore pregnant. How is that going to work moving us both to New Orleans? You think I would have found out?
Oh, God.
I got to go to church. Like, I feel dirty now.
Can somebody translate what the stop sign means?
Well, she said she let Zion do something in her mouth.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been like a checkered flag instead of a stop sign?
Well, it might have something to do with the water squirt emoji. That's what I'm taking it as.
Oh my God.
I've never liked Zion Williamson more. Zion Williams, I mean, for one, like, and let's be serious here now, okay? Even though we were really serious before, but we're going to get even more serious, all right? Are the Pelicans not concerned about this? All right.
Apparently, he had a meeting with David Griffin.
Okay, well, David Griffin...
At the Saints facility.
Okay, David Griffin needs to get things in order because Zion's taking that whole team for a ride, all right? The guy's never healthy. He came back and played like 3 games this season. It was really good when he played. However, of course, he can't stay healthy. Zion doesn't want to play basketball. The only basketball he wants to play is on the couch playing 2K. He wants to do the same exact thing that I do. Just sit on a couch and eat all day because this guy does not want to play. He's not worth the money that they're giving him. He is now a big distraction for a team that's actually turning the corner to maybe being like a deep postseason Western Conference team. You can't deal with this. At this point, and this is how bad the situation is. At this point, they might want to consider trading him for Bradley Beal. And that's fucking scary to think about. Because for one, Bradley Beal actually played more.
They don't have room for Beal.
If you trade Zion's contract.
Yeah, but no, you have CJ McCollum there.
That plays. They'll work something out. So like, I forgot what I was going to say.
You could probably trade Zion and Valanciunas.
Well, I would keep Valanciunas because at least he has cool hair and offers something.
True.
Zion, the guy literally just wants to eat all day long. He doesn't want to play basketball. There was questions about him whether he was healthy enough to play when they showed videos of him dunking toward the end of the season when he was supposedly working his way back. And that's bad though. When Bradley Beal is more available than you are, you got a fucking problem. So the Pelicans need to part ways with this clown. He might be a bigger flop than Ben Simmons.
True. I mean, Ben Simmons has at least made like some all-star games. He was in the running. He was the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year one season. Like Zion, what is other than one season where he played more than 60 games? That's all he has.
Yeah,
and he did not deserve all-star this year.
Oh, I wanted to kill myself when I saw that.
He did not deserve that one bit. But
all he wants to do is be eating cream pies and having water gun fights. Apparently,
I know it sounds like a lot of water gun fights. I didn't know that was a thing these days.
A lot of squirt water. I was like, wow, they're having fun down there.
Here's my question to you: do you think he
pulled out of it? No, he did. Oh, no.
Well, obviously he didn't.
Right.
More games played in his career or more women slept with?
Oh, more women slept with, without a fucking doubt. There is not a doubt in my mind that this dude, I mean, what has he played? 120
114 games. You're actually very close there.
Okay, so easily I mean, think about it. He was in college, right?
True. And he was a star in college.
He was a star at Duke.
Yeah.
How many women go to Duke? How many people probably...
Let's see.
Look that up.
How many people at Duke?
I don't think Duke's that big of a school. I think it's pretty small.
16,000.
I was going to say 20,000. So 16,000?
Yep.
Dude, that guy could have been... He could have... And he was there, what, 1 year?
Yep.
He was probably there 4 months.
All right, so theoretically, he probably could have slayed at least 20 at Duke. And that's being, like, generous.
The female to male ratio at Duke goes 52.7% to 47.3%.
Oh, yeah. Plus, in high school, he was probably laying pipe. So you got high school. Say he nailed 20.
About here? Like, what is going on?
We're breaking down advanced stats.
Right. This is more important than usage ratings right here. So say he clobbered 20 women in high school.
Can we use a different word than clobber? This makes him sound like he's Kareem Hunt or something.
All right. So not clobbered as in well, he was clobbering with his club with something, just not like physically assaulting them in a way that would like fall along the lines of like physical assault. He was assaulting that ass, but other than that, he wasn't like. So say he banged 20 women in college, and then he banged 20 women in high school. There's 40. You got 23 right now at least, and there's going to be more who are coming out. I believe I saw 23. So you're thinking, I'm not a math guy, but that's 20, 40, carry the 1, 7, 63 women right now, possibly.
Right. All right.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's definitely banged way more women than he's played.
Honestly, I'm surprised he's only gotten one pregnant.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way in hell he's got
that he knows of. Knows of. He could easily turn. Who's that football player that has like 15 kids with 13 different women?
Antonio Cromartie.
Yeah, I could see him turning into Antonio Cromartie.
But here's the thing, though. All right, so another interesting thing is Andrew Bogut has a podcast. Mm-hmm. Andrew Bogut came out.
Down Under podcast?
Yeah, the fucking Crocodiles and Boomerangs podcast. He came out and said that it's not uncommon for NBA players to have a little side action on their own payroll.
Honestly, I'm not surprised. I feel like that's
but I want to know who it is now.
I feel like it's probably not uncommon in every major sport.
Yeah, but I think basketball may be more prevalent. You see hockey guys doing that?
Well, so I was listening to the Richard Jefferson came on a podcast. I forget.
And he's a good-looking guy.
Richard Jefferson?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was on a podcast, and he said that baseball players actually are the ones that do the most, but nobody cares because it's baseball. Because if you think about it, they have a lot more chances, because he was saying how with football, everyone has the like team hotel. So you don't have as much freedom in football when you get to an away game, whatever. You don't have as much freedom to get out and find these women. In the NBA, it's not the same. So that's why something like Zion would happen. But he said in baseball, it's less restrictions. And they play 180 games. So
and you hear those stories too, like the pitchers are getting drunk and playing video games in between starts.
Exactly.
So you ain't telling me they don't have time to bring a girl in, have her,
I think baseball players are doing more than Zion.
And they're fatter than Zion, so.
Oh my God! Wait, what is?
Can you imagine like Pablo Sandoval back in the day, just fucking eating a sandwich and, you know what I mean?
Burger in this hand, girl in this hand.
Right. Oh no, 4 burgers in one hand. But this is the thing that I'm talking about. Remember when I was speaking of and the reason I'm mentioning Pablo Sandoval is I totally made that up. I don't know if that ever happened, but
I know.
I was elaborating, so whatever. They had somebody follow him around because he couldn't stop fucking eating.
Exactly.
You can't. Apparently, you need that with Zion.
Yep.
But make sure it's a guy so that he doesn't try to have sex with them.
Even other professional players have said, like, yo, somebody's got to get him, like, somebody in there to literally monitor him all the time.
Oh, he's got to be babysat.
Yeah. He obviously can't be trusted with him by himself.
No.
Like
that's like when like that's like Christmas time. My wife goes, "Don't eat the cookies that I baked," and she goes to bed, and I'm sitting out there at 1:30 in the morning, like trying to figure out how to like take a couple cookies but make it not look like that I disturbed the pile. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
I would do the same thing.
He can't be trusted.
No. And that's the thing is like now they were like, all right, we got his eating under control.
No,
and now it's this.
He's eating a lot of things apparently.
I was about to say, you got his eating food under control, but not his eating ass.
What is going on? You guys are ridiculous. I left you guys for a few months, and all of a sudden it's, you guys went ridiculous.
This is why we got 300 subscribers and counting. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching. Anyway, I
don't know if he's an eating ass. I don't know if that's his kind of thing or not.
I mean, it sounds like he's pretty selfish, so probably doesn't.
How dare him?
He probably gets his ass eaten. Mike left. Oh my god. Even Dennis had to leave for a second.
I knew.
And Brendan says here he's into eating everything else. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Can we move on now?
Yes. Oh my god. All right.
Struggling over here.
Whew.
He's working up a sweat.
Oh god.
All right.
So,
what do we got?
Moving from one hornball to the other, Doc Rivers. Oh my god, I've never laughed this hard on a podcast before.
Oh, excuse us, folks.
Whew. For all of those listening on audio platforms, you're probably very confused.
The sponsors are rolling in like crazy right now.
Oh god. Alright, so Doc Rivers was on Bill Simmons' podcast. And Bill Simmons asked him a lot about coaching the Sixers. Did not ask him about his Twitter escapades. He did not ask him about any of that. Mike, I don't know how you're holding it back, to be honest.
Because I'm mature.
Oh, God.
Dennis over here thinking about, all the shit that you guys have been talking about. On one side of his brain, the other side of his brain is thinking about his water ice that he's going to have later tonight.
Brendan says, shout out fat ass Mike. Oh my god. I know we can count on Brendan. We're getting him on the podcast too soon, so. For any of those who haven't seen it, go watch our video about Doc Rivers' Twitter escapades, because that was hilarious too. We didn't laugh as much as this, but it was still hilarious. Anyway, Bill Simmons asked him all about the Sixers, all about coaching Harden and Embiid, and all about asking him, Dennis, I can't even look at you.
I got this. I'm gonna turn my camera off for a second.
So asked him all about coaching the Sixers and that versus the Celtics and so on and so forth, all about all sorts of stuff. A couple of the things that were so annoying to me were One, Bill Simmons asked him if there were still the scars of the process hanging around when he got there and the culture of the process. Can we all just please shut the fuck up about scars of the process and the losing culture around the process and bullshit like that? Everyone wants to ask that question every single time, and it's just getting so tired and so worn out. And when Doc Rivers took over, it was literally right after Brett Brown, which was after Brett Brown put up 2 in a row 50-plus win seasons. So they were already winning. And by the time Rivers took over, there was maybe 3 people left from the process era. And it was literally Shake Milton, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid. That was it. Then Ben Simmons leaves. Then all you have left is Korkmaz, who came in towards the end of that. He was in there during the winning season, so I don't really count him. So all you have left is Shake and Joel. The whole culture bullshit has nothing to do with anything. Doc Rivers comes in and says that he's responsible for transforming the culture of the Sixers, which whoop-de-fucking do. You took them to the exact same place that Brett Brown took them in the supposed terrible culture. So Doc Rivers taking credit for something that you don't even need credit for. But the one thing, actually 2 things that I agree with him about, he says it was kind of hard to coach James Harden because Harden wasn't able to do the things he needed to do for the team to win games necessary to win the championship. He said that he couldn't do in terms of moving the ball more often and coming back to the ball whenever need be. He couldn't do the types of offense that the Sixers needed to actually win championships or win games in the playoffs or win important games. And then the other thing he said that I agree with is he said that Joel Embiid just does not want to be a leader on and off the court and make his players better. He knows that he can. He knows that he can, and said multiple times that Joel has taken guys off the court, taught them a few things, and he said that whenever he did that, the team was unstoppable. And he needs Joel to do it more often, and that's how they're going to win a championship. And I agree with that. Joel needs to do that more often, and when he does, that's when he wins one. And as the number 1 option.
He can't be a number 1.
He can. He's proven in certain
He's
situations.
number 1 on a team that's going to flame out in the second round every time, but that's about it.
He's proven in certain situations, in multiple certain situations, that he can be a leader and make his team better. He just has to
He's
do
not
it more
serious
often.
enough to be a leader.
I mean, he hasn't been like the joking around Embiid or anything like that for a few years. And he has taken many strides in leadership.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think he'll ever be like a vocal, like his personality is not the kind of guy who he's like more reserved.
Yeah, he's not a Jimmy Butler or a PJ Tucker.
He's not that kind of guy, which is why it was, you and I were so, complimentary on the PJ Tucker acquisition. Doc, to me, made a lot of stupid calls during the season or over the multiple seasons he was in Philadelphia. Sounds like he's pretty bitter now on what's going on. It's not his fault that James Harden wasn't productive, because James Harden hasn't been productive since he was in Houston.
Right.
With that said, I feel like that's a little bit of a comeback on Harden after after the season ended, and you can maybe even point to Harden that was the reason why Doc is no longer in Philly, because he kind of got the ball rolling a little bit. The Sixers are just a team that is in financial disarray at this point. They're loaded with a bunch of underperforming, expensive players, and the guys that they need to try to focus on keeping, they might not be able to keep. So the team wasn't really deep. I know you might disagree with me, but they weren't deep enough for a playoff run. They didn't really have anybody outside of Joel Embiid who could be a consistent number 2 scoring option. We know Tyrese Maxey made a lot of, good significant improvements, but he's to me, he's not like a number 2 guy. Tobias Harris is way overpaid and way past his prime. That's not Tobias Harris' problem, though. He's older. He earned that money back when he got it, but that's not his fault. All right, but that's when you surround a team, when you have, Doc Rivers, who I think checked out long before the season even ended. I think he had enough. And when you have your team full of older players who are getting paid considerably more than what they're actually capable of doing, it's going to lock up your ability to actually bring in help. So Harden, of course, Harden can't do the things you want him to do because he's old. He's a lot older than he used to be. I mean, we got to remember
nothing to do with age.
Oh, sure
Yes,
it does.
it does.
Because we got to remember too, who was Harden's coach for a long time in Houston?
Mike D'Antoni.
And how many minutes did Harden play?
Yeah, but what Doc is saying Harden can't do is never been a part of Harden's game. It has nothing to do with Harden's age. Whether he's 23 or 33, it has nothing to do with Harden's age.
So what did Doc need Harden to do?
Not be an ISO player, and that's all Harden, and play within the team system. But all Harden knows how to do is be an ISO player. He gets 15 or 11 assists or whatever, 9 assists a game because he can get by his guy and dump it off to the center, or he has good vision, but he's not a guy that plays in the system. Every time he gets the ball, it's a complete, unless he's a wide open on a kick out or something, it's a complete reset of the offense. You need a pick and roll or let him ISO. He doesn't play in a system. But
here's the thing though with Harden, his shooting percentages have gotten way down. Even when
that has to do with his age, but what
his finishing ability has gone
way.
That's
all with his age,
can't finish.
What Doc is saying. Doc is saying that he needs to play within the system, and he never has been able to play like that.
But that's part of it. But the other part is Doc said that the age part comes in the fact of it's too fatiguing for him to even be in that kind of system because of his age, which is also true.
They brought him in thinking that he was going to be a number 2 option to Joel Embiid, and those days are over. We thought maybe he was just playing rough, it was rough for him in Brooklyn, but this is the beginning of the downward spiral for James Harden. He's never going to be the same player that he was. He logged a lot of miles in Houston. You could see his body starting to break down. He's hurt a lot more than he used to be. He's had a great career, and he's a Hall of Fame player. He's one of the best scorers ever. Not a knock on James Harden at all. He was put into a situation he's just not capable of being that type of player anymore.
Right. I agree.
Now, if he was there on a veteran's minimum contract, okay, that's great. His days as a max player are way over.
Yeah, nobody in free agency should offer him a max contract. Houston is already backing away from the max contract talk. The Sixers, they haven't really said either way whether they're going to offer him big money or not. Especially now, you're hearing most of the rumors from the Sixers camp are coming from different players. Fred VanVleet, Bradley Beal. There's different rumors now surrounding other players rather than James Harden, especially because of the money that he wants. So, and I mean, there was also talk of James Harden going to Phoenix or James Harden going different places, and all of those teams aren't going to offer him max contracts. Phoenix doesn't have the money to offer him a max contract, especially if they don't trade DeAndre Ayton. And then Houston was really the only team that could afford to give him that kind of money. And if they're sitting there don't know if we're going to do that anymore, then that's a big issue for him. And that brings me into the whole rumor topic, so we can bring that up here. So, like I said, now there's rumors surrounding Bradley Beal being traded to not only the Sixers. Bill Simmons was the one who said the Sixers should be the odds-on favorite for a Bradley Beal trade. And the trade he proposed was Tobias Harris, it was Furkan Korkmaz and a 2030 first-round pick or something like that. which goes to show you how Bradley Beal's value has dropped significantly, especially with his contract is insane. But
well, we do like that. This goes back to what we were talking about last offseason before, Beal was talking, a big game about,
the Celtics,
he wants to do this and that. But really what it came down to is nobody was stupid enough to pay him. The Wizards are stupid enough to pay him. But now that the Wizards have, new leadership and they realize that contract is absolutely asinine. But, I mean, at the time, it was like offering Beal because at least you can get a little something back from him.
Right.
And even if it's Tobias Harris and, a very, very, very late, 10 years from now or whatever the hell it is, first-round draft pick, at least you're getting something from it. But the Wizards' rebuild process is going to be a long time. But honestly, I think Bradley Beal, going to the Sixers would be a lot better than James Harden in a Sixers uniform at this point.
He's younger, first and foremost. He's 29, about to turn 30. Harden's turning 34, I think. And if Harden is trying to sign at least a 2-year contract with big money, that takes him into his 36th birthday. Bradley Beal is currently signed up until his 32nd, I believe. It's either 30 until he turns 32 or 33. I mean, granted, he gets huge money then.
He signed a 4-year option, and then I believe the 5th year was a player option with a no-trade clause.
Yes. And apparently he's the only player in the entire league with a no-trade clause.
Which is crazy.
I know. It's insane. And that last year is for something crazy, like $60-some million.
But it'll be interesting. I could see, Beal going, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, Beal going to Philly. I'm sorry I brought that up, but apparently it's, for some reason it's, starting to seem like it's moving in that direction. I'd be really surprised if Pascal Siakam is still with the Raptors.
Agreed.
Fred VanVleet's not going to go back. I think now they're Gary Trent's probably gone from Toronto, and now we're going to be looking at like the Scotty Barnes, and for some reason they value OG Anunoby and Jakob Portal. So I mean, okay, that's great, but I mean, if you're the Raptors and you're not considering like not dumping, but moving Siakam for that number 3 spot in Portland, you're crazy.
They might as well move all those guys around that age. Like Jakob Poeltl's about to turn 28. He's not going to be in the same timeline as Scotty Barnes and the younger players they have. So
they just need to hit
them all for value.
Yeah, you just got to hit the reset button at this point.
Yeah, especially because Jakob Poeltl showed he's got some game left. So like other teams would very well take a center like Jakob Poeltl.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there's I do think though Fred VanVleet going to Philly, I feel as though has a better chance of happening than Bradley Beal going to Philly.
I mean, they would want it to happen over Bradley Beal going to Philly. So, of course, I think there's a better chance of that happening because they would do anything humanly possible to make that happen before they were forced to take Bradley Beal. But if the only way you're going to try to even, discuss being competitive is in getting and offloading that Tobias Harris and getting rid of Tobias Harris finally and trying to stay competitive and work within a new CBA and stuff, and by taking on Bradley Beal, then, whatever. You can't get any worse at this point.
True. I mean, either way, you're going to have to trade Tobias no matter what, whether you're getting Fred VanVleet or not, because you can't just sign Fred VanVleet outright. You still have to move Tobias Harris, especially because they're going to have to sign Tyrese Maxey soon. His rookie contract is going to be up soon here.
Did you see the rumor though with the Raptors possibly trading OG Anunoby to the Kings? Dennis said
for who?
Probably Harrison Barnes and first round picks or something stupid like that, more than likely.
Dennis's favorite big three of Anunoby, Sabonis, and Fox. By the way, Sabonis Newly a Jew.
Weren't you talking about that a couple months ago?
Yeah, I was talking about that at Alex's wedding. That you
Yeah.
need to trade me Sabonis because he's now Jewish.
Nope. Sabonis ain't going anywhere. Top 5 player of the league.
True.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Fox had an amazing year, though. I love watching Fox play.
You could make the argument that Sabonis is a top 5 player easily.
I think that's where I head out for the night because Dennis is just crazy.
I'd put Sabonis probably like between top 10 to top 15. I wouldn't put him top 5 just yet.
Well, you could make an argument.
I mean, yeah.
What's your argument?
I mean, it's funny that how Sabonis goes to the Kings and all of a sudden they had a shot to go to the Western Conference Finals. Like, you could have made an argument that they could have been a Western Conference team, and they're like one piece away, like from either one piece away or a Keegan Murray having a productive summer to where he, puts on a little size and, works on his game a little bit, or if they, want to trade him to another team and get somebody back who's more established who can actually help them. Like, if for some reason, if they're looking at OG Anunoby, which he's not a bad player, he just can't fucking stay healthy.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I could see Keegan Murray making a leap for sure. I mean, his shot is already there. It's the rest of his game that needs to improve. So,
and I mean, shit, if they could land Siakam and like put Siakam at the 5 and move Sabonis to the 4, or vice versa, that would be great. Wishful thinking, but you never know.
I mean, even if they could add like Gary Trent, that'd be a nice addition.
Yeah, I think they need a little more than a Gary Trent to
they do need a little more than that. I agree, but I just think he'd be a nice utility piece for them for sure.
But if I were the Kings, though, I would strongly consider trading. They need better big men. Like the Rashawn Holmes was on the roster, and
Trey Lyles.
All these guys. Maybe Trey Lyles played okay in his role.
He kind of was like a Grant Williams for them.
Yeah, I mean, Trey Lyles, did what he needed to do. I have no problem with that. But you got Rashawn Holmes on the roster. But at this point, though, I may consider, like, if other young teams like covet a guy like Davion Mitchell or Keegan Murray, and you can get like somebody back who's like established and can help you win, get past that hump, I'm totally down for it.
Yeah, I feel that. Where do you think Chris Paul goes? The rumors have been Clippers. There's been some rumors about Lakers. Houston?
Yeah, him and Harden going to link up in Houston.
For a round 2 when they're just old?
Honestly, now LA. You know LA.
I kind of have a feeling he's going to go to San Antonio.
And do what?
And be the mentor.
Well, he wants to win a title.
He might come to reality.
I mean, Miami.
Miami would be decent. So, the other 2 teams rumored about Beal have been Miami and... was it the Knicks?
Yeah, apparently the Knicks are out.
I feel like there was another team that was also a rumor for Beal.
I mean, there's a chance he could go back to Phoenix if he wants to accept, if he wants to accept taking less, re-sign if they waive him and he goes back and takes less money.
True. I mean, him with the Clippers would be fun. As long as everyone stays healthy.
The Clippers are garbage. I don't want to go into this season like everybody else last offseason talking about how the Clippers were looking so good and they're a favorite to win. Give me a break with that garbage.
Yeah, I can't name the Clippers anything until they prove they stay healthy.
No. Talk about a team that needs to hit the reset button. It's the Clippers.
True. Everyone's getting old there. I would love to see Terrence Mann on a team that can stay healthy. Shit, I would take Terrence Mann on the Sixers in a heartbeat.
Damn right you would.
Any day of the week.
Hey, and then I guess the Celtics were talking about Chris Paul.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, he would be a good addition there too.
I think he'd be a good addition. He could help Jason Tatum unfuck himself in the postseason.
True. Yeah. No, I would like. I'd like to see Chris Paul with really any contender that just needs like that one extra like veteran to put them over the hump.
I think bottom line though, it'll come down to I would think 5 teams for Chris Paul. I would say Miami, Boston, the 2 LA teams are back in Phoenix. I don't think there's anywhere else he's going to go.
Okay. There were rumblings around San Antonio though. Just saying.
He wants to win a title. There's no way he's going to San Antonio.
If it happens, though, I'm going to be more annoying than Mike.
That's fine, because it's not going to happen.
And then the last rumor that
Zion has a better chance of dropping 40 pounds by training camp.
I thought you were going to say dropping 40 women.
Well, he's probably doing that right now.
True. The Warriors, there's been rumors around Poole. There's been rumors around Kuminga. They especially, lately, the ones heating up have been Kuminga to try and get a top pick. I don't think Kuminga's value right now warrants a top pick coming back unless you're offering Poole with it.
See, here's the thing with Kuminga. Like, I don't think they were ever high on Kuminga like last season, like going into the season. I think internally the Warriors viewed Kuminga the same way that they view him now. But other teams and people were very high on Kuminga coming into the season. They were thinking he was going to make that second-year leap.
Yeah. But he just never got – I mean, he never really got the chance either.
Right, but also that's a Steve Kerr thing because there were things that Kuminga was doing that Kerr wasn't really a fan of in terms of, like, how he plays and stuff. There was not the development that Kerr was expecting. But if there was, you would have gotten way more value from him last offseason, but now kind of like, and if you're going to trade Kuminga, like, don't be a moron. Like, Kerr's out there talking about, like, things he wanted Kuminga to work on. So it's obviously he's fallen out of favor in Golden State.
Right.
Stupid.
Yeah. And that's part of why I don't think his value is going to warrant getting back a top pick if that's really what they think they're going to get.
Well, there might be a team out there who still sees growth in him.
Maybe. That's true. I mean, especially if it's a young team that has the time to wait, maybe that is the case.
But the ideal scenario, though, if you want to, like, now that Myers is gone, though, who the hell knows what's going to happen with, like, Draymond Green. But it still seems to me like Jordan Poole may still be the odd man out. So theoretically, like, if you're going to make a move, like, the appealing package would be a low salary guy like Kuminga, who you don't really have to risk that much because if he doesn't develop in a timely manner, then you don't have to worry because he's not really under contract that long anyways. And you have Kuminga Poole locked up for a couple, he just signed that deal last offseason. He signed the extension.
Right.
So the ideal scenario, I think, would be like package both of them and get somebody like in return.
I would love to see Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, Jalen Williams, Jonathan Kuminga, Chet Holmgren as a starting 5 over there.
I mean, OKC has about 19 first-round draft picks, so they're,
Exactly.
I think they're going to make a move either this week or at the draft, and I wouldn't be surprised if they bring in Jalen Brown or something. I think OKC's sitting on a move.
OKC bringing in Jalen Brown?
Yeah.
That never happened.
Okay. We'll see.
Okay. All right.
Well, unless you guys have anything else to get off your chest, I think that's it.
The only way that would happen, like, who the hell would OKC give to Boston to get Jalen Brown?
One of their 90 first-round picks.
Okay, so what would that do for Boston, though?
I was about to say, Celtics are trying to compete now.
Probably Lou Dort, a couple firsts, and maybe, I don't know, another role player.
All right, so you're going to tell a team that made the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years in a row, at minimum.
Hey, I'm here. I just make predictions, and usually they come true.
And they don't come true. So you're going to tell a team that made the finals last season and then made the Eastern Conference Finals this season to trade their second best, arguably their first player. It's not going to happen. Zero chance of that happening.
The only way that happens is if they offer up like Gilgeous-Alexander or Josh Giddey.
Correct.
And I don't see them offering up either one of them. Unless they really think Chet Holmgren isn't going to turn into anything and they offer him up. But
I still want to do that.
Yeah, that's a big risk.
Can I say Jaylen Brown's a top 15 player in the league?
Yeah.
Yeah. Top 20.
He's definitely up there. I mean, he's proven it. So
I'll say Sabonis is a top 10. Thinking about the 5, I had to go back and formulate, but I'm going to still say he's top 10.
What if Sacramento offers Malik Monk and Harrison Barnes and something else for Jaylen Brown?
Never happened.
You don't think so?
You'd be stupid if you took a deal like that.
From Boston or Sacramento?
Oh, Boston, definitely.
Okay.
But Boston's not trading Jaylen Brown. That's just asinine. I can't even believe we're talking about this because he had this make up this hypothetical, scenario that's never going to happen.
No, it's true. He's just always been the center of all the trade rumors coming out of Boston. So,
yeah, he's been for years.
I know. But, all right. I think that is it here for us. Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching another episode of the Atlantic Files, brought to you by the Underdog Sports Podcast Network. We are the #1 podcast on the #1 division in the NBA. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below if you're watching on YouTube. We're everywhere you get your podcasts as well, audio platforms. On Spotify, we also have our video now, so you can watch us on there or just listen to it, either one you want to do.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
Don't be an asshole to the gay community, the LGBT community. Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole, period. That's it. We're going to end it there.
Don't be an asshole altogether.
Don't be an asshole, get your ass ate. See.